What's up, guys? I'm gonna make a quick video on how to dig up fruit trees without damaging the roots. I've seen a lot of people digging up fruit trees, and what they'll do is they'll get a shovel, start like a foot away, and just go hacking away at the roots. You don't want to do that because you'll be chopping the fine hair roots, and those are the ones that you need. So the first thing I'll do is I'll remove the mulch. I had this tree mulch with some wood chips that have decomposed. So now I have a layer of wood chips and some topsoil here. You don't really want to be mixing layers. I want to put all the dirt back in the layers it came in. Alright, so next thing I want to do is you want to get yourself a digging fork. This is a fork that has really strong, thick metal that won't bend when you dig with it. If you try to use a shovel, you can if you don't have a fork, but you will likely chop roots. So the best way to do it is to use a digging fork. I'm going to zoom in real quick. Alright. Keep in mind that different kinds of soil will be a different experience. Just kind of remove this top layer. There was some invasive grass in this area, and all the roots from that grass haven't died. That's why a lot of these chunks that I'm taking out, these are not roots from the tree, these are roots from grass. So I want to get rid of that. These are the grass roots, very invasive wetland grass. If you have sandy soil, it'll be a lot easier for you to dig out your trees. But if you're digging up a fruit tree, you want to be diligent about not damaging too many roots, because you can either waste yourself a season or save a season. Because if I chop all the roots off, plant it, the tree might make it, but it won't put on any growth that first season, so you'll essentially be losing your season. But if I get most of the roots out, I can grow this tree way faster, so you could possibly save a year or more. The next thing I want to do, once I took off that top layer where the grass was entangled, I'm going to use a metal bar like this. My dad calls it the Ukrainian pencil. Now I'm going to slowly start wedging this tree out. Use a piece of wood to have something to pry against. Now you want to start maybe 1.5 feet. And the bigger your tree is, the further you want to dig. You want to make a bigger circle if the tree is a lot bigger. So I'm just sort of wedging it in different places and kind of feeling out to see where the roots are at. I can see the tree moving as I do it. My goal is to loosen up as much soil where the roots are at, so that when this tree comes out, the roots kind of pull out from that heavy loam clay soil instead of just ripping out. This side seems pretty good. You want to go all around. Take your time here. Now I know that most of the roots are free. I'm just gonna do a little bit on this side because I haven't been here yet. But after you see the entire tree moving like that, so at this point I know it's safe to pull it out. There we go. Normally, you would want to keep all this dirt. The more dirt you have on your roots, the easier your tree will take. But I have invasive grass here, so I will be shaking all this root off, all these roots off, because there's grass roots that are intertwined in these roots. I don't want this invasive grass. Look how invasive this is. This is the grass roots. Crazy. So all that work to get this many roots, but it's worth it. As soon as I put this tree in the ground, it'll take off growing, no problem. There will be no transplant shock as long as I plant it while it's still dormant. Keep in mind, you want to be digging your fruit trees up either late fall, during the winter, or early spring when they're still dormant. If you see any leaves, or if you see the buds have swollen, it's not the best time to transplant. You can still transplant when the buds swell, but as soon as you start seeing the leaves, you don't want to move that tree. It will likely die.